Okay, I'm actually talking about mocking people, so you can mock me for wearing the robe. That's cool. Mocking, it's not just for picking on people. What? No mocking? Okay, so the obligatory who am I slide. In every presentation, I am a husband, a dad, a coach, a youth leader, co-owner of Computer Know-How, an amazing technology firm, and a member of this little framework you might have heard about, Cold Box. So check that out, check out Computer Know-How. So, what is mocking? To treat with ridicule or contempt. For instance, picking on people for wearing Jedi robes or being Star Wars nerds. But in the software world, it is simulating behavior in controlled ways. We use it in unit testing. So why would you mock? You would mock because you're immature. That's why you're mocking me. Or you mock because the functionality you're trying to unit test is hard, because the functionality you're trying to build relies on something that maybe isn't built yet, or because you want to control expectations in your software. So when do you mock? Well, when it's appropriate. When somebody does something stupid, mock them for it. Or when you're using test-driven development early in the development cycle, or you're trying to be agile and something in your sprint or whatever isn't built yet, so you want to mock that or make fun of it. So the only way you're going to be able to mock is if you have a plan. So my freshman biology teacher taught me the 6 P's. Remember these. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Okay, if you don't want to be vulgar, you can throw out the piss, I'm sorry. But in fact, I usually don't, but that was just too good to pass up. Adam Sandler. All right, so how do we mock? There's lots of different techniques out there. In the Java world, you can develop a mocking framework, or if you're like me and you're extremely lazy, thus you're a good programmer, you use a framework that someone built, and I use Mockbox. So let's do a little example here. Let's set up Mockbox. That's all there is to it. You instantiate an object. It is a standalone framework. You don't have to use ColdBox to do it. So there's 2 examples, both inside and outside the ColdBox application. Just switching which one. You see the difference? Okay, so the way I used to do this is, you maybe have a couple of variables you want to use in a view. So you just, type them out. And then maybe you put a little comment in there, hey, come back later and actually call this from the user service and get my user object and so on. But what I really want to do is call that user service, get the user object, call the name, get the visit count, and then output it to the view. That'd be much better because I don't have to come back later and change anything, right? So that's a little bit longer than I thought. All right, where do we mock? You can mock right inside the function, but the problem with that is obviously what? You got to go back and touch the function. That's what we're trying to avoid. So you can create an object to do mocking for you. That's a great way to do it outside of ColdBox, or in ColdBox you can have an interceptor object to do it in the pre-handler. So what don't you mock? Me, that's one thing you don't mock. Kind of like Chuck Norris. So. But simple variables, like in our example we're doing here, I had an RC user ID. It's just a simple variable. It's going to come from a form or URL. We don't care, but you don't need to mock a simple variable. So let's create some mocks. So we have our mock box here. We're going to create that user service that I want. We're going to mock it. So you just mockbox.create mock, give it the class, and the class can be absolutely nothing. It can be a CFC that looks just like that. Nothing. There's a couple special tags I put in here just because I wanted to call them out, a couple attributes that you can send in. Clear methods is going to basically return that object blank. It'll take all the methods out. You can either have that on or off. And call logging, you can get some logging on that object that you're mocking, and it'll help you with this $ results, which I'll explain in a bit. So we mock another object, which was the user that we wanted to return from our get here. And then we mock a method. We just use a little $. The method we're mocking is get, and it's going to return what? The user. And again, that user CFC right now is nothing more than nothing. So what's up with that $? It's just a simple convenience for you inside of Mockbox for mock method. Just a little shortcut to mock. You know, usually you're going to mock a lot of methods, so you don't want to type mock method every time, because again, we're lazy programmers, so $sign. All right, so let's mock a couple more methods for our little example here. I have two techniques here. You can see get name, return, and then just a return a name, Paul Woodsall. Or I have a comment eliminated list with the $sign results, Paul Woodsall, Curt Gratz. So what's up with the $sign results? That's a shortcut for mock results. You send it a comment eliminated list, and then every time you call, for instance, like every time we called visit count, it would cycle through those different, all the different things in the list. So first time we do 5, then 6, then 7, and then it cycled back through it on the fourth call to 5 again. So now we can have our, whatever we're building here, call our user service, get their name, get their visit counts, and output them on the screen. We don't have to come back and change this code later. When we actually build the user service and actually build the user object, we can just get rid of the mock, and that's it. So if you want more information about Mockbox, right after this, you know, you got laptops out there, just go download it now. It's a good idea. Start mocking away. There's my contact information. I made it in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. This was fun. Thank you, Bob. Have a great night.